happening tonight? In the place to be. Human. You better see.
It is 4:30 p.m. on a Monday afternoon. Give yourselves a round of applause. You've done an absolutely fantastic job. All right, we just had someone singing the doomsday story around AI, right? So please do me a favor for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes, or however long you want me to be here, I'm going to talk to you about AI being the good shit, right? So please, if I may ask, I know it's been a long day. I know you guys have been uber engaged, but I want to talk to you about my baby. She goes by the name of AUDREY. I've been on the receiving end of countless audits. I come from business. My wife is an auditor, so you can imagine being audited day and night. I think I got a clean audit last year because we still together, well this year. Some of my best friends have been in the audit industry. I myself am an auditing dropout, like boo-hoo. No, I'm sorry. I love you guys. You see, the beautiful thing about auditing, and that I appreciated for the longest time, is that you've been able to work according to a set of structured rules, processes, and more often than not, right? Do the absolute best you can to deliver a successful outcome, successful audit, and ultimately make irritable stakeholders like myself to a certain relative level of calm and appeasement that we are on the right track in terms of the risks, the mitigations of those risks, and knowing that my auditor is not just an executor of an audit plan, but actually is my trusted advisor. So credit to you, credit to you. You're allowed to give yourself a round of applause. Don't worry, it's not self-gratification. But look, being a technologist and having spent the better part of my life looking at ways to do things better, simpler, faster, cheaper, not because I just want to chill on the beach with a beer, but I believe that there are better ways to spend our time than being stuck in the mundane, the repetitive, the boring, the annoying, being the guy at the corner of the table, and so versus the guy presenting at the front of the boardroom table. And for the longest time, I think if you had to speak about your challenges, either as an auditor or someone operating or supporting the audit framework, I think these sentiments, while you hold them close to your heart and down, sometimes down there, it's the truth, as hard as it may sound. So I sat with my team of solutionists, and we had a good conversation around, guys, this thing of audit, I get we need the structure. I get the processes. But I don't get us working on lag indicators for my whole life. What if I were to reimagine a time where audit doesn't give me something 6 months down the line, a plan or identification of my risks, but it's able to proactively, in real time, provide me with that. So that I don't attend to it as a business owner 6 months after the darn thing has happened, but while I'm in play, while I can effect that change, because 6 months may be too late for a business, especially if you're a tech business, right? So, I'm not going to talk to the charts. I think you guys are charted out. No disrespect to our other speakers. But the reality is, like, these are some of your common problems. You know them, you've heard them, you've spoken of them ad nauseum. Some of you guys don't want to share information, operate in silos. I've spoken about retrospective assurance. I think that's the technical terminology of it. We rely on huge data sets, much of which is still manual. And whether you want to call Excel automated or digitized, guys, it's manual. Right? And this is coming from a self-professed Excel lover. It's manual. I've heard from many reliable sources, and also clients where we've run this on, that even the scoping of an audit, the very essence and the start of this process, can often take you an inordinate amount of time, depending on whether the client, yourself, your supervisor agrees or disagrees. Just to scope that. I mean, surely there must be a better way, right? Surely there must be a better way. And lastly, and I know you guys are sick of this. To be honest with you, as a technologist, I'm also sick of hearing fourth industrial revolution. I'm sick of hearing digital disruption, digital transformation. All we know is that one thing's for certain. The world has significantly changed. 10 years ago, I think I was at GovTech speaking about 4IR and the 8 different big trends happening there. The reality is, we are dealing with petabytes of data in your department, never mind in an organization. So the complexity of dealing with that data from an audit perspective has just become 10x. That's your challenge. My challenge is, and no disrespect to the big dogs, you know who you are, the big consulting houses. My challenge to my team was, how do I make one auditor behave, operate, scale to 10 auditors? How do I 10x this thing? In order to 10x this, I've got to allow auditors to do the things that they're damn good at. And it's not the mundane, it's not the repetitive, it's not the documentation, it's not necessarily field work, it's your strategic insights. It's the stuff you're really great at. So, we built this baby that we call AUDREY. Yes, I'm sure you're sick and tired of ladies' names for kind of auditing platforms, but you can call her whatever you want. The reality is, we have created your first, and she is the world's first AI auditor. She's not going to replace you, but could we at least have like a pitter-patter of applause? Because I'll tell you what she does. I'll tell you what she does. Yeah, pitter-patter is fine. You know, you can bring it from this side to that side. It's all good. So, what she does is AUDREY will initiate any audit process for you. So if you're an auditor, a day one auditor, AUDREY will talk to you. Ma'am, what is your name? Sorry? Your name, yes. Palesa. If Palesa is the registered auditor on an audit, AUDREY will greet you by name, in the language of your choice. I could also use deepfake and, we're speaking about, the previous person was speaking about rights. We could use Denzel if you wanted to, right? We're probably going to pay him a pretty packet. But imagine Denzel speaking to you in Sotho. Ligai, Palesa.
My man.
But it would be something amazing, right? So not only are we trying to create an AI audit assistant that walks you through every step of your journey, from inception to report, and feedback, customer surveys. She will do that for you, but she ain't never gonna replace you. So last week, we had the privilege of presenting to the Auditor General in one of the countries in South Asia and their team. And they just wanted to know one thing. Show me AI, show me AI, show me AI. How does it work? When I explained this concept to my daughter, it's like, we've created AI, and she's 10 years old. An AI auditor. I've been warned to call her an auditor assistant, not AI auditor. She's not replacing you. She said to me the following: I hope you're not going to share the ingredients with them. That she's got her own GPT, not ChatGPT or Claude. I know my name's been taken for AI purposes. Not that she makes use of NLP and has got these fantastic data technology that's able to crunch complex data. She's like, do not tell people about the ingredients. So I'm not going to tell you about the ingredients.
Aww.
Audrey's going to tell you how she works.
In today's fast-paced business environment, traditional audits often fall short of meeting dynamic organizational needs. Audrey steps in with cutting-edge AI technology, offering real-time insights and streamlined automation to simplify complex audit workflows. Imagine a world where audits are proactive rather than retrospective. With Audrey, data complexity is effortlessly managed and decision-making is driven by accurate real-time analytics, enhancing audit efficiency and effectiveness. Audrey identifies risks and opportunities through superior visualizations and AI-driven risk assessments. This allows businesses to focus on strategic decision-making, ensuring that potential issues are addressed before they become significant problems. Designed for scalability and flexibility, Audrey offers enterprise-level auditing with seamless system integration. Its multilingual capabilities and cross-border compliance support make it ideal for both local audits and multinational compliance checks. Whether you're handling a simple local audit or a complex multinational compliance task, Audrey adapts to your needs. It simplifies even the most intricate tasks, ensuring that your auditing process is as efficient as possible. Audrey's AI-enhanced auditing capabilities are perfect for forward-thinking organizations looking to stay ahead. By transforming your auditing process, Audrey helps you navigate the complexities of modern business with ease and confidence. Transform your auditing process today with Audrey, the future of AI-enhanced auditing. Join the ranks of forward-thinking organizations and experience the benefits of a more efficient, insightful, and proactive audit approach.
Thank you. This is Audrey. So for the purposes of this video, as we were speaking to a Southeast Asian government, they wanted a version or a persona of Audrey to look like them. And actually, we using deepfake, we actually made her speak in their language as well, which I think is fantastic. It brings localization and it drives adoption. If I resonate with it, if I understand it, I'm not going to be scared of it. So driving Audrey, the heart of Audrey, is something that we call the DNA. I'm going to get to that in a second. So outside of you hearing everything, I want to leave you with this slide. And as I promised you, I'm not going to take an hour. So I'll be a few more minutes. So Audrey is enterprise level and scalable. So as I said, you could make a one-man shop feel like a 10-man shop, and a 100-man shop be more effective as a 100-man organization or a 500-man organization, or AGSA, I see you here. 200 and some odd, or 300 and some odd with your contractors, right? She's scalable. She integrates into literally any of your operating systems. She's able to plug in through your data sets using APIs, and she's ready to work. Now, at the heart of her is what we call the Audrey DNA. But I don't know much about the DNA. I enlisted a subject matter expert, who I think you've seen once or twice before in this hall, to talk about this DNA. He helped us build this technology and the brain behind the platform. Shane, are you here? Thanks, Shane. Can I give him a round of applause? Thank you. Shane, can I run the video? You on?
Boo, boo, boo. Wait, before you do that. So yes, Audrey does something very different, but maybe Claude, let Audrey speak for herself.
Introducing DNA, your key to smarter audits. In the AUDREY AI platform, we've created a special section called DNA. This feature is designed to help users upload and share important information, knowledge, and key frameworks from your organization. Think of it as a centralized library of all the critical knowledge your institution holds. But here's where it gets really powerful. When you upload your knowledge to the DNA section, AUDREY can tap into it, making her smarter and more informed about your unique context. This means that whenever you ask AUDREY a question or need insights, she isn't just pulling from general information, but responding from a place of deep understanding of your specific needs and frameworks. What makes this even more exciting is that AUDREY can create different specialist profiles, AI experts equipped with specialized knowledge. For example, if you need an audit on a financial framework or compliance, a tailored expert can be created to respond with academic-level accuracy and precision. This means you get personalized, expert-driven advice that's customized for your needs. By using DNA, you make AUDREY not just a powerful auditing tool, but one that's fully equipped with the same knowledge your team uses, enabling you to get the best possible insights, quickly, accurately, and smartly.
So, Claude, let me come to your question. So what is DNA? So you've heard of ChatGPT, and people always ask, where's this sources coming from? And we know ChatGPT studies articles or anything you put on the internet. We've done something that ChatGPT doesn't have, and it's based on, and I don't sound too technical, but it's based on an RNN generative transformer. Now, what that would do is allow you to create a private ChatGPT for your organization, but what DNA can do is you can create a virtual brain. And whatever that brain is, if anybody saw that movie Inside Out, we're playing with that sort of thing. So you can say to the brain, you're a cyber auditor, you fear security breaches. You welcome security upliftment. You could upload knowledge about your institution. If you're the HSA, as an example, you could, institutional knowledge and policies, you could upload it. Any textbooks, if you wanted to become like the textbook of SAICA or COBIT framework, you upload it. Your institutional, what you've picked up, your methodology, and she will then become an avatar of specialist in cyber. You do the same for HR. You create an HR capability, and you add this virtual auditor. She will then use that knowledge together with what's in its RNN to be able to produce what you need in your audits. This in itself is a game changer in the way we do GPT. This has never been done, and a GPT by themselves, ChatGPT, doesn't have the training capability, but you continuously train it with the best of class, and it will operate as an astute auditor. So that's the changing game.
Fantastic. So, Mr. Program Director, I know you're earning a fair packet here, but it's okay. I'll take this part of the Q&A. I'm sure there's one or two questions here relating to the AI auditor that we've built. I'm sure there's been a number of questions that have already been asked around AI, ethics, security, safety, and so forth.
I just spent half an hour on the stand asking questions earlier. So I've got a simple question. I'm just trying to be smart here. How much information do I need to put into DNA before it can give me something that makes sense?
So from what I've worked out, I've done 800 pages of a textbook that when I've hit that, I found it more meaningful. Prior to that, it was a little bit murky. It was muddy, and it became more and more clearer the more information I put into it. So you do have to, it's an investment, but for your new recruit.
The addition, sorry, Steve, if I may come on board there. So the addition, sorry, Program Director, keep on, through you, Chair. So Steve, thanks, and once again, it was great engaging with you earlier. So the option of a persona is there. You don't necessarily have to utilize that persona. So AUDREY can run on her own as kind of this non-specific standard auditor utilizing the global rules and processes. What we're talking about is the inside-out emotions and persona is that if you want a real specialist, say for example in health and safety, you want someone, you want a persona that's in health and safety. The more you feed that persona, the better it gets. So I guess that's what Shane is alluding to.
What are the most, what were the most challenging things that Audrey experienced in your planning, probably implemented here in other industry and all those things? And secondly, in terms of compliance, right? How did you make sure that you actually spoke about compliance issues that this AI thing brings in here? Mm-hmm. How much did you actually have in making sure that Audrey complies with things like your privacy laws and all of that?
Great. Shane, can I take the first one and maybe you can build the second one? Yeah?
Sure.
Okay, thanks for that. So I will give you the business view as to what has been the most complex, and I guess Shane can give you the more technical view of what's been the most complex integration. Guys, AI requires data. It requires data. So this is not the silver bullet to fixing all your current data issues. We know, I mean, everybody knows kind of what you feed is what you're going to get. So, I mean, you said it. I don't want to use the very good expletive of in and out, but what you feed is what you get. So part of what we do is walk you through that journey. But that journey initially, look, it's going to be a little bit painful for the first week or two, but we walk you through that journey. It's also painful for us trying to tell the same client over and over and over, but we get there. So for me, that has been, maybe it's because I got a low tolerance threshold, but that's okay. That's another subject for another day. But that's for me. Yeah, and you, Shane?
So my man, when I ran, technically, what happened when I ran Audrey for the first time, most challenging thing that he doesn't know he's going to hear about the first time. When I ran Audrey first and I got her to speak, she spoke as a man. So I had to go and fix that before the business guys get involved. No, that wasn't the most challenging thing. What is the most challenging thing I've ever done in Audrey is the engine. She's an AI engine. You can't fool people with that. You can put in if then, you can do whatever you want. She needed to look at any database in the world, Oracle, Hadoop, SAP, SQL Server. You point it to that database, you select the tables, you upload that flat file that the auditor gave you, and you tell her, study it, analyze, and I want you to provide all the scripts that my 12-man data analytics team can script. And in 40 seconds or so, she'll provide you with about 30 scripts that you will now be able to utilize in your audit as audit control tests. And I needed to make sure that was working 100%. That, for me, was the game changer. That was something that one would actually look at this and say, wow, it replaced 14 million rand of human resources. Thank you.
Okay, I think you wanted to say garbage in, garbage out.
Let me just say, I was going to say rubbish, but it's fine.
I see my lady. Hey, Shirley.
How much is it?
You take that question? Will you take that question?
Yes, so what I can tell you is that the integration is not as, let's just call it, I wouldn't say exorbitant, but it's not an inhibitor for adoption. It's a standard subscription model, you scale it, obviously on a license model, so it's definitely accessible. Remember, this, unlike many other projects, sorry?
Is that your final answer?
That's it. It's accessible. Remember, if it gives you times 10 auditors at a tenth of the value of times 10 auditors, I think there's value. Yeah.
Look, Charlene, we all bras, yeah? I'm a charo. How much you got?
I just wanted to find out, how does Audrey perform certain IT general controls, such as backups? So how will Audrey confirm if backups were implemented successfully, or changes were approved, or user access forms were adequately completed, those manual ones? That's question number one. And question number two is, how does Audrey not share my organization's audit reports and audit information with other organizations who are also using the Audrey?
The platform, yeah.
That's actually a use case that I've done. So I love that question. So Audrey can look into your change request system from that IT has, and she can look directly to that. She looks at the patches on your server. She knows what your OS is. She will also tell you, if a change was done and it didn't tie up to a change request, but you're not ready to see that results because I'm an IT person and I don't do change requests for everything. So that's the one. How do you know if your data is backed up? Because it looks at your snapshots and matches the dates to that. So remember, it's on VMs, and she can see the VM scanning. Your data is secure because of DNA. DNA is highly encrypted. Sorry, you did ask that question as well, and I'm sorry I didn't answer that. She uses a 7-layer security capability in which she encrypts both in and out, so even if the database was compromised, but she doesn't send your data externally. It's private to your organization, and the entire RNN is your private ChatGPT or your Audrey GPT base. So there you go.
And when we struggled was the data that we have from a service management perspective is really unstructured. And the question is, how does Audrey deal with unstructured data?
So there's two types of unstructured data: very bad data, which is in digital format, and then there's unstructured data in media files. I know that you have audio files. So I've done a call center use case where I took the call center's data. They took all the call center phone calls, the audio, put it into audio to text, and I audited against it. Are you referring to the audio, or are you referring to bad data?
Bad data. Bad data, right?
Bad data.
Yeah.
Okay, so what Audrey would do in that case is you do something called, give me a sense quality of my DQ, data quality. And she will give you a ratio to say how reliable the source is. She'll look for patterns of abnormality within your data source. And if you get a score below a certain data DQ ratio, she will highlight it to you and you need to say, I'm proceeding knowing the DQ is bad. Or you could check the second option, which is to isolate possible DQ errors. She could do that. But that fundamentally comes back to the challenge Claude raised.
Yeah, look, and there's also option 3. You could call us in to help you to make your bad data into good data. but that's another conversation.
All right, let's move on to the next question.
Prof.
So, how different or similar is the DNA in comparison to digital twins?
Digital twins is a mimic of what is in reality a virtual environment, and it's really used in space. NASA uses digital twins, right? So I want to make sure that when I fire a digital version of the rocket with no people in it, is it going to crash or not? And I'll simulate that, and then I know the rocket is safe. So this is not the same technology. It's not a digital twin at all. This is AI throughout the entire audit process.
But it's a great question.
Okay.
Prof.
Wonderful. Any other last burning question? About Audrey?
Come and visit us and see the power. So yes, it can happen. It can, because it works on discrimination and biasness. Is Audrey, any AI in the entire world uses discrimination, whether you like that word or not, or bias.
Yeah, I prefer the word bias.
We use DNA to influence the bias. So that's how we prevent the pollution of that data, because we are susceptible to that. And that's why Audrey will always take you 90, and Claude said your job will never replace, because what we want from you is your professional judgment. We don't want you to do heavy lifting.
All right. Yep. All right. So just one last question that you may have on your mind. And he said, all right, got me thinking.
Sister Bettina.
She is not related to her. Sister Bettina. Thank you so much. Thank you very much for your time.
Please give this to Audrey.
Oh,
Please give to Audrey for us.
sure. And not Bettina. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, please, round of applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.
It's happening tonight. It's a place to be. You better see.